Hey diamond painting friends, Jessica here with Tiny Worlds of Wonder, stopping in to share a post review for another delightful canvas from Distracted by Diamonds. This one is called The Swans by Sir Frank William Brangwyn. I wrapped this one up just in time for our Summer with the Masters video series in conjunction with Diamonds and Washi. Go check her out. So this is a perfect segue into that event. I finished an old master just in time to start another, and I had so much fun with this canvas, you guys. I have had a really great run of canvases in 2020 and so far in 2021. Like, they've all just knocked it out of the park, and that's been so great because my first year of diamond painting, like in 2018 and 19, was pretty sketch. I was shopping a lot on AliExpress back then. A lot of those canvases were unlicensed and I didn't know it. A lot of them were really low quality. I was struggling with rivering and wrinkling. And now that I really only buy higher quality canvases, literally every painting I finish is a joy to me. So this one was no exception. This canvas was a 62 by 72 centimeter round drill canvas. It is a big boy. This one had 40 colors and 2 ABs. One was 666, this bright red. Another was 701, this really iridescent green. And there is no way my bright overhead light can capture how these green drills pop off this canvas when this is hanging up. I typically am not a fan of ABs in old masters canvases, if I'm honest, but these green drills are absolutely beautifully and tastefully added to this piece. So it was a pleasant surprise. It really was. Now, before I get too far into the review, I want you to know that Robyn is a good friend of mine, that I work on licensing for Distracted by Diamonds on occasion. So when I do reviews, I try to make them as objective as possible, but I want you to know that I do have that relationship with Distracted by Diamonds. I do purchase all my Distracted by Diamonds canvases, but that relationship is an important one for you to know about. So let's get into the things that I loved the best about this canvas first. Number one, I am obsessed with Distracted by Diamonds canvas fabric. It is, I think, the best canvas fabric on any diamond painting I own, hands down. It is a very thick woven canvas fabric. It is not soft on the back. It's not shiny. It's kind of no frills in that sense, but I love it so much because it is very stiff. It hangs just fine over my easel. It drapes just fine, but it also holds its own when it comes to staying on my easel without falling off. And I think it's gonna hold up so well in framing because the stiffness of the fabric is just gonna stand up a little better than some of the thinner fabrics that I'm having issues with sagging in my frames over time. I think I'm going to frame this piece actually, so I'll let you know if that assumption is correct, but the canvas fabric is my favorite. It is my favorite of all the companies out there, in my stash anyway. The glue on this canvas was absolutely sticky. It has a really springy texture, so when I stick a drill onto this glue, it feels like it nestles down into the glue, and it feels like the drills are never going anywhere. Now, I've never lost a drill off any of my canvases, knock on wood, but there's a sense of security that you get when you work on a canvas with really springy glue, like a Distracted by Diamonds Diamond Art Club has a similar kind of texture. It gives me a sense of security deep down in my heart. So I loved the glue. I loved it so much. Drills on this canvas were excellent quality. I had almost no trash at all, and I had plenty of drills in every color left over. Now, I did have a couple of small issues with the canvas. Both of these things are things that I know Robyn is aware of and has either probably already fixed on the next run or is in the process of working on. The first was there were 2 symbols that were pretty hard to read at first. I'll put some footage on the screen so you can see. One was a light blue shade, symbol L. The other was a light brown shade, symbol 4. The good news about these symbols was they were very different colors, and once I figured out in this very first square up at the top, you know, this area, what those two were, I didn't have any trouble from that point on because I knew if I got to that blue symbol that was difficult to read, it was L, and if I got to the brown one that was difficult to read, it was 4. So that's something to watch out for. A trick that you might want to try if you have any canvas with symbols that are a little tricky is to turn your light pad off and just let your ambient light from the top down illuminate the canvas and see if you can decipher that symbol, because sometimes the light pad actually exacerbates how difficult those symbols are to read. So that's a quick tip if you are struggling on any canvas to read your symbols. I did find also, because this canvas was produced during a time when factories were just reopening from COVID, that the cover sheet in a couple of squares, mainly on this left-hand side of the canvas, stuck down really hard once I had lifted it up to work once. So I, for some reason, didn't finish this area of the canvas very quickly. I had to keep coming back over and over. And the cover sheet stuck down very hard over there. It never broke. It never stuck to the canvas. The glue was never compromised by that. But I did notice as I got a little further to the other side that that issue wasn't an issue anymore. So I think during that time in production, a lot of manufacturers were struggling to keep up with demand and maybe didn't let their glue cure fully before they put the cover sheets on. Like I said, I have not had any issue with it losing tackiness. And so beyond just that little bit of struggle while I was working on that area at the top, there wasn't any other issue with it. When I was working on this one, I was really struck by something I was surprised by, and that was how much color blocking was actually rendered into this canvas. So if you do a lot of Old Masters canvases, you're probably used to doing a ton of confetti, and usually Old Masters pieces do have a ton of confetti. So I was a little worried actually when I was working on this one that all this color blocking would make it a little bit oversimplified. But I think you'll agree when I take you out for the long view that this rendering is absolutely gorgeous. It's very detailed. It's very pleasing to the eye. My favorite part of the rendering, hands down, is how this sunlight comes through the trees and dapples the wings of these swans, especially maybe up here at the top is the best example right here. So we just have these beautiful light and shadows going on. And this piece is so tasteful. It's so beautiful. It is definitely frame worthy. And it definitely will be framed at my house. It's another frameable piece from Distracted by Diamonds, and I seem to just have one after the other. So I'll take you out for a long view now so you can see the whole canvas. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the swans all wrapped up by Frank William Brangwyn. If you're interested in this kind of art, Katie and I do have a Summer with the Masters event going on over at Diamonds and Washi and here on Tiny Worlds of Wonder. So be sure to check Katie's channel out, and I'll link to that playlist, like I said, up in the cards so that you can play along with us if you're interested. I hope you have a fantastic week, my friends. As always, spread some joy wherever you are, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.